Hey everyone, I'm Joel Green and welcome to Curiosity Quest Goes Green, the show that explores what you, the viewer, are curious about. Now today, our quest setter came to us from Granite Bay, California. Robert wrote, "Dear Joel, I'm curious, what is it like to be a bird?" Well, Robert, because of you, we have made our way down here to the Florida Keys. We're gonna learn all about what it's like to be a bird. I mean, what better place? Here at the Laura Quinn Wild Bird Sanctuary. So let's begin today's Curiosity Quest Goes Green. We're down here in Tavernier, and I'm here with Joan Schultz. Joan, tell us about this. It's like majestic.
Well, Laura Quinn had a passion for wildlife. She was a teacher in her occupation, and then when she came down to the Keys, she saw the need to establish a wildlife rehab center. She started this organization, Florida Keys Wild Bird Center, in the 1980s. She passed away 2 years ago, but we're continuing with her mission to keep, this place really going.
What's the ultimate goal here?
Yeah, our mission is to rescue, rehabilitate, and release native and wild migratory birds.
One of the things I want to ask real quick about releasing, how often do you release the birds back into the wild?
It really depends on how the progress of their rehab is. We have about 20 patients at the hospital right now.
Wow.
And I think we'll be releasing 3 birds today.
Oh, that's cool.
So,
okay, well.
Yeah, and it just tied in because we don't wait to release a bird.
Yeah.
When they're ready, they go.
So I understand that we're here really early because
Yeah.
we have to go down somewhere.
Yeah, we're gonna head to the bay.
Okay.
And we need to get there like before 7 o'clock.
Oh, okay.
Because the bird, I don't want you to miss the birds coming from their rookeries where they sleep at night.
Oh.
So it's right down at the bay.
Okay, all right, let's
Should we go?
What is a rookery?
A type of bird.
An animal.
A kind of bird.
Is it like a rock?
I'm thinking it's a type of fish.
A rookery. It sounds like a bird.
I'm here with Amanda. We're on the move right away. Amanda, what are we looking for? Why do we have to move?
We're going to watch the birds fly in from their roosts.
Fly in from the roost.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So they're all going to come over the bay and out from the mangroves, out into our salt pond and out to the beach.
All right, so we're on the move. Let's go this way. We have to be very quiet because there's birds around us. And I've been told a couple times, be quiet. Brad, our other cameraman's already on the move. When they're coming in, you say they're coming to feed.
Yes.
Is this a pattern that happens daily,
Yes.
yearly?
So it happens every day, and just basically depending on what time of year it is, you're going to see different birds.
Is it where we're at in terms of where we're at in the Florida Keys that they stop here, or is it because of the sanctuary they stop here?
Well, it's a little bit of both. We definitely get more birds here than most people would see just from their yards. And that's because they see the other birds, so they know that it's safe and that there must be food here.
It's so quiet. It almost hurts.
We have a roseate spoonbill, and he's a resident. And he comes in the mornings to our salt marsh, and you pretty much see him year-round, and that's why it's kind of special.
Oh, right there, is it the pink bottom?
There he is.
There he is. My daughter has a bird book about this thick. This is her favorite bird.
Oh, really?
It really is. It's her favorite bird. She's going to be very disappointed when she finds out we got to see it. What's special about this pond that they're all stopping?
Food.
By food.
Lots of food. It's, because everything eventually is being developed, lots of people, you don't have a lot of these salt marshes left in the Keys.
What is a salt marsh for the people who don't know, like me?
Basically, you know, it's just a watering hole. The water is somewhat standing, but at the same time it's along the bay, so the water's moving in and out. So small fish come in, the tide goes down, and then you've got a ton of small fish kind of not stuck in here, but you know what I mean.
Fun fact, fun fact, fun fact. Here's your fun fact.
Did you know that all birds molt? Which means that they lose their feathers every year and they regrow new ones, just like this guy.
We're up on, you said there's a pontoon boat?
It was a pontoon boat at one time, yes.
Oh yeah, look at that right over the tree. What is this flying right behind us here?
That is a white ibis.
And I see several other birds in the sky, but I don't know if they're coming or going.
Kind of a little bit of both. Some come in and, you know, stay here and feed, and then others fly off to other feeding spots, and they roost here at night.
What do you mean by roost?
Sleep.
They sleep? Just chill, huh?
It's a place where they hang out at night.
What are these birds off this side?
Those are great egrets, and they're a large wading bird.
When you say a wading bird,
See how they're kind of wading through the water, and the way that they catch their fish is they'll actually stab their beak down and grab them.
who do we have joining the party over
That's
here?
a pelican.
Pelicans, I see them like, when I'm at the beach. I see them and they're just kind of going, skimming the water, skimming. What are they doing?
Looking for fish, you know, just flying. They're very low flyers. So you know how you see some birds like really high up in the sky? Pelicans, not so much. They stay pretty low. And it's because if they see a fish, you know, they want to dive down right away.
What do we have over here?
So we have on the rock there, that's a adult laughing gull.
Adult? An adult or adult?
An adult.
An adult?
Yes, a grown-up.
Laughing gull.
Laughing gull. There's no such thing as a seagull.
Oh, okay. Whoa. People at home right now are going, what did she just say? What do you mean there's no such thing as a seagull?
There's no such thing as a seagull. Basically, you know, people call gulls seagulls, and they group them all together, but actually they're all gulls, and then they have different, you know, species names. So that is a laughing gull, and we'll probably hear at some point today them laughing at us.
Now, what do we have flying overhead right here?
Those are snowy egrets. On the bottom along the water is a kingfisher, and then we have an osprey as well, way out there flying.
Would you call it
An osprey.
osprey?
Yep, and it's actually like a bird of prey.
When you say bird of prey, what are you referring to?
They have talons, sharp beaks, like a hawk.
Okay. Now, we haven't said it earlier, too, but how long have you been working here?
Over a year now.
And the sanctuary's been here for, you said?
Almost 30 years.
30 years.
Yep.
I know a lot of people at home are like, oh, I want to work, my daughter especially. I know she's going to see this. And I'm like, I want to work with birds, and how do I get to do what you're doing?
You start by volunteering. And most, you know, rehab centers and sanctuaries with animals always love volunteers and take volunteers, and that's how you always get started, is just volunteering your time, because that kind of proves that you have a true passion for it.
What do pelicans eat?
Well, they eat fish and sometimes bread. Fish.
Food.
Fish. Anything on the ground.
Fish. Everything.
Pelicans eat fish. They eat other pelicans. They eat, I've seen them actually eat plastic.
What kind of fish do pelicans eat?
They eat small bait fish. So the fish that we have today, we call them capelin. They're pretty stinky.
Wow. Yeah.
We hand toss, and basically it might take a few throws for them to realize, oh, it's time to eat, especially with a larger group of people here. They're somewhat shy.
Okay. All their heads go up. It's like a symphony. Look at that. Yeah.
But you have to throw it to them.
Okay, nobody told me that. Listen, I don't have a glove. I just want to point that out again. I don't have a glove. I gotta throw it to them. Ugh, there we go. Oh! I'm a basketball fan, so that was a swish.
Yeah.
There we go. Wow, their mouths.
But see, they will pick it up out of the water too. So.
It's wild because they're like thin, and then when you throw it to them,
It expands. Yep. Because they're all, you know, have injuries. You know, the sanctuary staff has to be very aware of the birds. Some of them have bad vision. Some of them only have one good eye. So again, you have to be, you know, really careful. You got to make sure everyone is eating okay. And
well, obviously, I'm having a good time tossing fish in their mouths. you're observing at the same time.
Exactly, and you have to pay very good attention to detail with these guys.
And it's weird, they don't really eat straight on. It's kind of
The sideways.
like a sideways thing there. And you threw some of that fish juice on me too, which is actually it's not bad. It's not bad. No, that's okay.
Fun fact, fun fact, fun fact. Here's your fun fact.
Did you know that the black-legged kittiwake actually vomits to make itself lighter to escape predators?
Amanda, what's going on here?
This is Pickles, so he's an ambassador, as is Fred behind us.
What was that?
He has a large vocabulary.
and he likes saying yes.
And again, this is Pickles.
What kind of birds are they?
So this is a cockatoo, and this is a green Amazon, and they're both rescues. So they came to Laura, the founder, and she kept them. They built the cage for them, and basically they're the greeters of the sanctuary. It's the first thing you see when you get here.
Yeah, and here, when we got out of the van, they're like, ah! Like one of them was yelling at us, hello, hello. We said hello, then all of a sudden he went, ah! 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 You think this is funny? Why are you upside down?
He can also bark like a dog, meow like a cat.
Is it? What is their story?
Well, basically, they're parrots. People get parrots, and although we think it's funny right now, it's not so funny when you have them in your house and they're screaming and yelling and whatnot.
Yeah.
Also, they live to be very, very old. I mean, these are the kind of birds you have to put in your will.
How old are we talking?
60, 70 years old.
60, 70 years old. Wow. So this, I guess you're right. We're laughing, we're having a good time. But if this were happening
In your house.
all day long,
Right.
it would
Could
get a little. So you ended up with Pickles and Fred.
Yeah.
Why?
Basically, people just came to Laura, and they wanted to, they loved these parrots. These were their babies, so they didn't just want to, give them up. And I'm sure it was a very hard decision for them, but they knew Laura would take very good care of them.
Sure. So we're gonna meet some more of the birds.
Definitely.
All right. Cool.
Give me your best bird call. Ready, go.
Caw, caw. Caw.
Wait. What was that? Wait, come on back here. Wait. What was it? Go ahead. Go. So you have several enclosures, and who do we have in this one?
So these are our broadwing hawks, and there are two of them in there, and they're both permanently injured. One has an injured eye, and the other one has an injured wing. And basically, they wouldn't survive in the wild. They eat live food. They have to be, spot on when they're getting their food, and they wouldn't be able to do it.
When is the point where you decide to build an enclosure just for a bird or two birds versus having a larger enclosure like the ones we were in earlier?
It kind of depends on the types of birds, like the pelicans and the cormorants, there were a lot of them in large enclosures. They're very social birds, so in the wild you see, they're in groups all the time. But hawks, birds of prey, owls, they're very territorial and they don't generally hang out in groups.
We're in an enclosure.
Right?
And if you don't see what's behind us, there's a good reason for it, because
It's a peregrine falcon.
the fastest thing ever, right?
Right.
Like
yeah.
the fastest, like, how many
Yes.
miles an hour can this bird go?
He can go up to 200 miles per hour.
Why is he here?
So this is Paladin, and he is here because he had a shoulder injury. He was migrating down with the rest of the peregrine falcons, and he was hit by a car.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so somebody called you guys and...
Yep, somebody picked him up and brought him to us. He was successfully rehabbed. He didn't lose, either of his wings. He has both of his wings. He's actually pretty well flighted.
Mm-hmm.
But again, just like we were saying, they have to fly so fast and be spot on to catch their prey. It wouldn't work out for him.
How do you know he's not going to be able to get top speed
Well, I mean, we have flight cages to test that. We can do X-rays, you know.
Okay.
Even with him, if you really watch, he has one wing is just a little off.
A little
And that's all it takes.
All right. Let's go meet a couple of the other birds.
Okay.
We're in another enclosure, and we're here with an
An owl.
owl. So who are we looking at?
This is Barta.
Barta.
And Barta, yes.
I saw Bart on the.
It started off as Bart,
Oh, okay.
although we're pretty sure that it's a female.
Okay. So we had a mislabel at one point.
Correct.
We just added an A.
Fine.
in. It's
She's
good.
okay with it.
All right. So why is Barta here?
She actually has a bad beak. Instead of the beak growing like this, it's growing like that. And so she does okay in captivity. We grind it down, but in the wild, the beak would become overgrown and she wouldn't be able to eat.
People are probably wondering at home, kids, why couldn't we just open the enclosures and let the birds roam freely, and if they want to come back, they can come back?
If we could, we would, but again, all of the birds here on the property are non-releasable. They all have permanent injuries, and so although they do really well in their enclosures and in captivity, they wouldn't be able to survive on their own in the wild.
I guess you never know what you're going to see at the sanctuary, right?
Correct.
What do we have behind us here?
So that's a turkey vulture, and they basically hang out here. They can smell the food, and they're looking for scraps, basically.
When we were walking, we're moving from one enclosure to the next, I would ask you, what's this area over here? And you were telling me this is a
Predator-proof.
predator-proof.
Yeah.
Describe why that is important at a sanctuary.
Well, you know, like I said, all the birds here are permanently injured, so it means they have a handicap against something that might, you know, get in and try to injure them. And plus, they're in the enclosure; they can't get out. So you want to make sure that they are as safe as possible in their house.
Why do birds need to be rescued?
Because they're getting trapped in trash that people throw on the beach and getting killed. Because if they don't get rescued, they're going to be very endangered, and no one wants that to happen. So don't throw trash in the ocean and such. Because they might get hurt.
Sometimes from the oils, sometimes from lack of food, sometimes from people.
All right, Amanda, we've moved from the sanctuary over here to the hospital. And tell us a little bit, I'm curious, why would birds need to be rescued?
So a lot of times what happens is a bird gets injured, you know, it's out there in the wild, so anything can happen. It could, you know, you could have a predator like a cat or a dog. Baby birds fall out of the nest sometimes and they can't be put back. They get hit by cars. Just a lot of different things out there that are dangerous for them.
You mentioned fishing line and then for some of the other ones as well.
Yeah, because we're in the Florida Keys, we have a lot of birds that come in that get tangled in fishing line.
Why is it so important to rehabilitate these birds and get them back out in the wild?
Well, the main reason is because, again, most of these birds have been injured because of human impact, so it's important to send them back out there. Also, you know, as with most species, because of population and human impact on everything, the numbers are becoming low for a lot of different species, so each one matters.
We're in the hospital for a couple reasons. I guess we have some patients here. What are we going to be doing with these patients?
So we have one bird in particular that we need to take out and we need to give his medications to. He was injured by a cat and he's actually very docile and stable. He's in stable condition, which is why we can do this with people around. And hopefully, you know, he'll clear up the infection from the cat and we'll send him on his way.
Okay.
So basically she's getting the bird. It's a mourning dove. They're very common all over the United States. And what we have in the syringes is it's an antibiotic and it's basically an anti-inflammatory. Okay. And you'll see when she takes her out, she's got a bit of a bump on her head there.
So you have to actually just do it in the mouth?
So you just very calmly take the beak. See?
Oh, wow. I feel like I'm weird here in the middle here.
And that's it.
It wasn't too bad.
Once a day. Okay, so we're gonna go down to the other end of the hallway and we've got some baby birds, actually, the very last of the baby bird season. And they're starting to eat on their own a little bit, but not quite, so we're helping them out a bit.
Oh, okay. Let's go.
Okay.
Fun fact, fun fact, fun fact. Here's your fun fact.
Did you know that whooping cranes are the tallest birds in North America, standing at 5 feet?
Allison here is a professional pigeon feeder.
Correct, yes.
PPF. So they're eating better than sometimes what we eat.
Usually, yes.
Blueberries, grapes, cat food. I mean, that there's the meal of champions.
And this is actually just his lunchtime snack.
Oh, snack?
The morning and afternoons are, they get a huge selection of fruit because, again, these are mainly fruit eaters in the wild. The white crowns are, so.
Since this is a baby, and obviously Allison's feeding him or her, do we know, boy or girl?
No.
Okay. Feeding it, I'm sorry to say that, but boy or girl, will they survive okay out in the wild when you release them?
Yes, so with any baby bird usually that we get in, they do this. They're not necessarily interested in us as people, they're interested in those tweezers and that food. And so once they learn that they can get that food on their own, they completely bypass us.
Oh.
And they don't want anything to do with us anymore. And so it's, it's a long process to rehab a baby bird because you want to make sure that they will survive in the wild.
How often do you have releases here?
So basically sometimes, we don't release a bird for a week or two. All of them are still in the process of being rehabbed. They're not ready to go. But at other times, like today, we're going to release 3 birds. So you just never know.
We're releasing 3 birds today?
3 birds. 3.
Wow. Really? Can we be a part of that?
Of course.
All right. Oh my goodness, this is cool. Amanda, this is so cool. And we have a small crowd that's kind of gathered back here too. We're not the only ones that are excited about this.
It's an exciting day.
So what are we gonna do?
So we're gonna open the cage doors. And again, it's live birds. You never know what they're gonna do.
All right. He's turning around the other way. Oh. Oh my goodness, look at him.
Bye.
Wow, I'm like a little emotional.
Right? It's pretty cool.
Yeah, wow. All right, so
Okay.
who we have here? The gray
That's
heron?
our tricolored
Tricolored
heron. And he was also caught up in some fishing line out in the Everglades. A boater happened to come across him and brought him in.
He's probably really scared too.
Okay, so this is actually a snowy egret and he came from here.
Oh, okay.
He actually showed up on the beach. He had fishing line wrapped around his legs so he could fly, but he couldn't land, he couldn't really do anything. And one of our staff members actually was able to lure him in with a fish and was able to grab him. And it just coincidentally worked out. Usually, a flighted bird, they're very hard to catch, but we grabbed him.
And how long has he been here?
He was actually only here for a few weeks.
Okay.
Again, the line hadn't been on very long, so his injuries were minimal.
Oh, yeah, his beak's over there.
See, and he's from here, so he's like,
okay?
whatever. This is where I live.
It's pretty cool that all the hours you've spent rehabilitating the birds
Just paid off.
just paid off. Oh, that is awesome. Awesome. What better reward, huh?
Yeah, exactly. You can't ask for anything better.
Remember, keep doing your part. Even the little things matter. Just ask the little guys here. I want to thank Amanda, I want to thank Joan, and everyone out here at the Wild Bird Sanctuary. And I especially want to thank you, Robert, for sending us on today's Curiosity Quest Goes Green. Now, if there's something you want to know more about, let me hear from you. Go to curiosityquest.org, click on the Send Us on a Quest link, and simply tell me what you're curious about. And it could be you that sends us on our next green adventure. Now remember, this is our planet, and it's our responsibility to take care of it. So I wonder, have you gone green? I'm Joel Green. I'll see you next time. So that was... Goodbye. Okay. I wasn't expecting to get buzzed by the tower there. Wow. Weird. I don't know if we got that, but bird walked in and my hair looked like a perch, I guess.
If you'd like to order a copy of this episode or a previous episode, visit us at www.curiosityqueststore.com. The cost is $24.